Hey, it's Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com. And it's Monday, it's November 5th. This will be our chart lesson for the day. And it was mostly uphill today, although this was mostly a sideways market here until maybe just after lunchtime, and then we rocketed up. Well, I wouldn't say we rocketed up, but we moved up for another leg. And what I would have done, there's a couple of ways I would have looked at this. I would have measured this first leg and looked for a measured move from here, and you can see we went a little bit higher than that, but then I probably would have measured it again from here, and you can see we got really close because that's really where it started. And technically this is probably the one I'd be looking for, because that's really your correction there, your midpoint. And you can say we did go a little bit higher, but that would have given you an early target. But I would have been careful around this resistance here, getting long into that resistance regardless, because this looks like a range day almost. So volatility is down considerably today, considering what we have been having as well. So we didn't have, we didn't have the crazy large bars that we've been having. This is more of a normal type day, I would say here, versus what we've been getting lately. And you can see there's a trend. There's a couple of different moves. That line is, somehow I moved that line and got it off. But you can see you got a trend down, a trend up, then there's another one down. And we're just kind of going sideways here, and then we take off again. You really could have traded this either way. You could have considered going long right here as well. This first entry, second entry. That's just such a huge bar, and it's, I didn't like that one, but it's just too big a bar, and you've got kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars. We'll talk about it when we get there, but I'll explain a little more. But anyway, let's talk about the trades and wrap it up. Also, one other thing: tomorrow's election day here, and uh, normally I usually go in the mornings and when I to vote, so I'll be voting. So I probably won't be trading in the morning, depending on, unless I can get in there quickly and get out. So uh, I'll probably still come in and do a chart lesson, so we'll still have a chart lesson tomorrow, but there probably just will not be a mid-morning chart because it'll be too late by the time I get in here to probably do one. So if you don't see one in the morning, you'll know why. Just be aware of that, because I'll be out voting and probably won't get in here until late morning, close to lunch or something. So anyway, let's back out a little bit here, talk about the trades, and then we'll wrap things up. When I came in, we were still working up. We had this real steep trend, but we had a break, and you have a first entry, then you have a second entry here, but we actually pushed on through before we headed up. So I probably wouldn't take that second entry. I'd wait for this bar to close, and you can see what happens is it just backs back up, and then you get now you've got a close outside and a move to a new low and a bullish bar right there at the EMA. So that's the one. And you're still looking for a retest of this high most likely. So I like that one. There's a lower high here, but that bar is too neutral. And then of course that's a new low, and then you're moving up. First entry, second entry. That's a failed second entry short, but look at the new high. Pull back first entry and then pull back second entry when it broke higher right there. I like entering right there as well. And you get so now you got a break and two legs up. You'll probably get a reversal. And then we move down. You get a first entry, you move down, you get a second entry right here, but it's not a very good signal bar, and you're still inside this trend line. You finally get a break and two legs down. You don't quite make a new low. You move back up. There's no reason to go long, and then you break higher, and it confirms that trend line. Notice you draw that trend line off those first two, and then it breaks up and touches it again, and that's basically a lower high. It's not a perfect signal bar, but if you add this one to it, it's a really negative bar. So if it breaks lower there, we're probably going to move on down. I went back and forth about this one. There is a little bit of congestion there too. This could easily be green. I made it red because I liked it at the time. You got to figure if we break lower, we're probably going to get at least a measured leg. like this one. And you can see we got a perfect measure move before it bounced and then moved on down again. So that would have been a nice target. So again, that one could easily be green. And then we just get a first entry here. You've already moved 2 legs down, and that is a failed second entry long right there, but I don't think you want to enter way down here away from the EMA like that. And then you get another second entry here, but look at that big bar right into the low right there. It's a big bearish bar, and it would have worked, but you don't have much room to get out. It is off the midline, so again, you could probably argue for that one to be at least green, so I'll mark it green. But personally, I think you need to wait on a better setup than that. We bounce. There's no reason to be looking for any longs yet. You really just want to be looking for shorts here. And there's actually a turn down. Let me make this a little bit bigger. There's a relatively bearish bar right there. It's not real bearish. You know, it's at least a couple of 3 ticks off its low, and it's only a first entry as well there, but it's right off that key entry point, so that's tempting as heck. But if you draw your trend line up, you see that's only a first entry, that's probably worth skipping out on. Of course, you move on up, and you try to go higher once, you try to go higher twice, so now you got a failed second entry, a big bearish bar, and you're looking for a possible retest here. I like that one. It's good for a scalp, and then it bounces. And you could look at that as a failed break lower below this area right across here. You can see that. And you might have even moved this up to here like so. You get a little failed break, but it's a very neutral bar. It's a first entry. And you just gone short. So I'd probably wait and see what happens, but look how it pushes up, pulls back, and confirms that trend line, gives you a really bullish bar. Go long right there. And off it goes. And you get a break here. You got a shorter term trend line there. You get a break, move to a new high. But you don't want to be going short yet because the bigger channel is still in play. And of course, we're working down first entry, and then you kind of pull back and you get a second entry right there. Again, it's not a perfect signal bar. It is a second entry, but you still got this trend line working down. And if you'd have tried it again, once again, you'd have got burned. But when it fails there and turns down, I like going short there on a failed second entry. Just taking another move off that trend line. Comes down. You finally get a break outside. Move to a new low and it reverses. Not a good enough signal bar to be going long there. Then it pulls back. First entry, and then you pull back second entry. But that bar, that's the bar we talked about. You see how big that bar is, and you got a little bit of resistance across there. There's 3 or 4 ticks there as well. It's still pretty bullish, but it's just so big. I think you want to skip that one. And by skipping it, you kind of get it's really just kind of a repeat pattern of this right here. And it's a failed second entry long, and you get a chance to go short right there. And another nice move down. And I would look for at least, there's leg 1. So at least a measured move, and you can see there's your measured move. And I would also measure this. And notice we didn't quite get that complete measured move there, and then look how it rallied. That's usually a good sign that, you know, if you don't reach a measured move or further, then and it reverses, then it's usually going to go a little bit further in the other direction. But anyway, we start working higher. There's a failed second entry short there, but it's right into the EMA. It's just kind of hard to know what's going on here. It's hard to get a good read on this because we're just up and down, up and down. But when it pushes through, pulls back, and gives another failure and a big bullish bar, and now you're on the other side of the EMA, I'd take that one. And you probably wouldn't have got a runner on this one, but you could have got a nice scalp. And it does come back to the key entry point again here, but it's just the first entry. This is really your signal bar. You could count either one because they have matching lows, and you got to go long, right into the high. And there's been some resistance across there. I'm not crazy about entering there. It does take off, but it gives you another chance up here. Notice the new high, pull back first entry. You come back to the key entry point. You get a second entry long with a bullish bar. Boom. This is just really sideways, so that's like a little failed break lower as well. You can see that right there. And that gets you into the 2 o'clock hour. Notice there's another second entry long there. You got a new high, pull back first entry, pull back second entry when it broke higher right there. And that is just right after the 2 o'clock hour. So we could mark that one as well. The only problem with that one is you probably wouldn't have got in it because notice how it gaps right there. And I wouldn't allow it to pull back and feel me like it did right here and then go higher. I would only want to enter right there. And if you had it would have worked. But anyway, with it being after 2 o'clock, I didn't mark it. But it's one more you could have tried to get in. But unless your chart's a little different than mine, you probably wouldn't have got in it. So believe it or not, that was it for today. It feels like a really slow day, but this is really a more normal day. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 trades today, 9 or 10 trades, a couple of green ones. That's a much more normal, average kind of trading day in the ES. And it feels like a real slow day after the volatility we've had. So, but anyway, that's really going to do it for today. So I'm going to wrap it up again. Just a reminder, probably no mid-morning chart posted on the website in the morning because I'll be out voting. If it goes real quick and easy and smooth, I may be back in. If so, I'll post it. But if you don't see one, you'll know why. And I'm still going to try to trade a little bit before the day's over. And I will try and post, or we'll do a chart list tomorrow afternoon for YouTube. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. We'll be back again tomorrow. I'm done for today. This is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.